It's Outdoor Gear Dad here with another video review. Sorry for this cord right here. I want to give good audio, but there's no real nice way of attaching this thing, so this is gonna work. Anyway, today we're talking about wool, 100% wool outerwear. When I started getting into the outdoor scene and exploring and researching out gear, everybody was talking about wool. I was reading on different forums, and it seemed like wool was kind of the go-to material for outerwear. There's some properties of wool that nothing else has, which is the fact that it's antimicrobial, it's flame retardant. It's also the only material that will keep your body warmth in when it gets wet. So if it gets wet, you're not going to run the risk of, getting sick. Well, I mean, you probably could still get sick, but you're not gonna die because you're wearing wool and it's freezing cold outside and you're getting wet. And even then, you might still die, but you have a lot better chance of living if you are wearing wool. So anyway, I'm not a wool expert. I don't know much about it. I just know that everybody was talking about it, and it seemed like everybody's opinion was buy 100% wool gear and you'll be set. So I started buying wool socks, beanies, base layers, things like that. And when I started researching out shirts or anoraks, there's a lot of companies that make some really nice products, but wool is so expensive, and that's what I learned really quickly. Some of the wool anoraks that I was looking at were north of $500, and I don't have that kind of money to spend. So came across Lester River Bushcraft. This was a recommendation by a friend of mine, and started researching out their Boreal Shirt, which is what we're gonna review today. So Lester River Bushcraft, it's a small company started by a guy named Jason, and Jason is pumping out just some really quality products at a very affordable price. Originally started making knives, and that's kind of how the business started, and now he's moved not just exclusively doing knives, but into other types of outdoor gear. So today we're gonna be talking about this Lester River Bushcraft 100% wool Boreal Shirt. I got this because it was a lot more affordable, it had great reviews, and I just really liked the design. So we'll take a look at this, and I've had an opportunity to actually use this now. I took this on a trip a couple weeks ago to the Boundary Waters up on the border of Minnesota and Canada. It was cold at night, high 20s. So not freezing cold by any means. I mean, still freezing in the sense that, if it was raining, it would be snow. But, we're not talking, negative 10. It was, but it was chilly. This thing held up. It kept me warm the entire time. And so we'll take a closer look at some of the features and some of the specs on this. And then I'll put it on and I'll just kind of I'll just show you how it fits. All right, so here is the Lester River Boreal Shirt. First thing that's really cool about this is actually made of old military blankets. Jason from Lester River sources these blankets, has them professionally washed, and then turned into this Boreal Shirt. I think it's really cool because when I put this on, I feel like there's a story behind this wool. I don't know how the blanket was used, when it was used, but I feel like there's a part of history to this that I don't get in other wool types of items. So hood, obviously on here. There's this nice neck piece right here that actually covers all the way up to your chin. This is great because it lets very little air in. So if it's really cold outside, you can cinch these up top, you can cinch them up on the bottom, and you can really create a nice kind of mummy experience in there to keep all of the heat in. It's nice and long, which is another thing that I like. It's got plenty of length on it, so it covers your waist down to about mid-thigh, depending on what size you get. At the bottom here, you also have another cinch cord right here. So again, you can tighten this around your waist and make sure that there's no cold air getting up. One of the best features of this is the fact that you can tighten down the sleeves. So when you get your hand through here, you have two options for tightening it down. One, you can go two. And again, this just prevents cold air from getting up into this. So if you do all of those things, you cinch down the waist, you cinch down the neck, you cinch down your sleeves, you're keeping a lot of body heat inside this Boreal shirt, which makes it very warm. A couple other really nice features of this is it's going to be hard to show on camera, but if you look right here on the main front big pocket here, you'll see that you have these two lines right here, and these lines are actually they're stitches. What they've done is they've sewed 3 pockets onto the front side of this larger pocket inside here. So you basically have 3 compartments. You could put, your phone or, some other types of gears or tool that you're using. You can slip them in there, and it's very easy to just reach in and access it, but also keep it compartmentalized. So if you have different things in there. I think when I was using this, I had my headlamp in here. I had like my cell phone in there. And then, obviously any other things that you need to kind of keep handy. The other thing inside here, which again is going to be hard to show just because of the camera, is you have a couple of these D-rings that they've sewn in to the back side of the pocket that's against your body. And again, clipping things like a carabiner, if you have your keys, or maybe you want to hook you have a little carabiner type thing on your fire steel, you want to put it on there. You can make sure that these things aren't gonna just go falling out of your pocket. So you have one on the left and the right side. And then last, inside this pocket, going all the way on the back side, let me see if I can somehow show you this, pull it out like that, is you have a nice big zipper pocket. Just more storage, you can put stuff in. So just from a design perspective, this Boreal shirt has got it going on. It's got everything that you would need, from cinching it down on the neck, the waist, the sleeves, to the pockets and storage space. But obviously there's some important elements that would make or break a product, especially outerwear, and that is comfort level. So let's put it on and see how it feels. All right, so we got the Boreal shirt on here. I have the microphone right here, so hopefully it doesn't get in the way here. But you can see very, very comfortable fit. I went with a large originally based on the sizing chart that was on the Lester River Bushcraft website. I ended up returning it for a medium, and there was only a few reasons why. First of all, I live in Texas. It doesn't get very cold in Texas. Even during the coldest time of the year, I think the coldest I've ever seen it here is the high teens, and that was only for a short period of time. So layering for me is not as important. If I was up in the Midwest or the Northeast and we had those really cold winters and that's, the environment that I was in, then I could see why that extra room for layering would be really important. But as you can tell here, I'm 5'8", 185 pounds, and even with a medium, which is what I exchanged the large for, I still have plenty of room to layer. I can put a hoodie on underneath this with the base layer and still feel comfortable and still feel like I can move and do things and not be, so constrained. So I'm really happy that I went with a medium. But depending on where you live, you might need the extra space for additional layers. So just a couple things here. I do have the arms, the cuffs cinched down. You can see that they're not falling past my hands. I can keep my hands free to do certain things if I'm, tending to a fire or cooking or whatever it is that I might be doing. I have the ability to keep the cuffs cinched. If I unsnap these right like this, you'll see the sleeves fall down past my hands. So again, there's plenty of room in here, and it gives you the option to tighten those up. If I put the hood on here, you can see this is the neck piece right here that keeps the air in. And so I can cinch down the hood. You might get some static here on the mic from just hitting the wool here. And then I can cinch down the neck piece, and I can really do it really does a good job of just keeping all of the warmth inside. So if you combine that with the sleeves and then you cinch up the waist, this performs great, and this will keep you extremely warm. I'm actually sweating in it right now, and I probably shouldn't have done the wool boreal shirt during the beginning of summer here in Texas, but I couldn't be more thrilled with this, the design, from just all of the thought put into this shirt. Now, how does it feel? Is it comfortable? The reason that I went with Lester River Bushcraft, this boreal shirt particular, over the other brands, to be honest, was first just because of the price. I didn't feel comfortable spending over $500 on a shirt. It just wasn't something that was going to settle well for me, my wife, or my family. So the price point on this was much more attractive. At $285 is what these are going for right now on the Lester River Bushcraft website. Now, the thing about what you get when you spend less money on wool gear is you don't get the same type of wool. Remember, this was made from an old military blanket, and therefore the wool on it is not going to be as soft. It's not going to be as, plush. And so when you put it on, I think if you're expecting to slip into a cloud, you're going to be disappointed. This was designed to keep you warm and really to be worn over a base layer. And so for me, I will never wear this directly on my skin. I mean, I'm wearing a t-shirt right now, and that's really the only time for this review that I've worn this where it's actually directly touching my skin. Most of the time I have a base layer on or a hoodie, and then I put this on over it. So from the wool being soft, it's not going to be the softest wool out there. But when you take into consideration the price difference for something like this, and you look at functionality and price, to me, this comes in at the top every single time. It's functional, it's designed well, it's built well, it's made here in America, and it keeps me warm, and it has plenty of room. So that's why I went with this. So if you want to spend the extra money and go and get something that's going to feel a lot more soft on your skin, by all means do it. But this is the perfect solution for me. It's extremely comfortable. Now I will say, I had an opportunity to wear this a couple weeks ago in cold weather. When we were out at the Boundary Waters, it was, low 20s-ish. And this kept me warm without a problem. I actually even slept in this. And so I would put a base layer on, slip this on over it, and stayed warm the entire time. And honestly, I don't know what I would have done without this, because being from Texas, going to anything in the 20s, I'm going to be cold. So this was huge. The other thing I noticed was this wool, when you first put it on, it feels a little bit stiff, and it feels a little bit itchier than it really is. And as you start to wear it more, it softens up. Now, I don't know if that's just me or what's actually happening to the wool itself, but the more I wore it throughout my trip, the softer it got and the more comfortable it became, to where now I put it on and it doesn't, there's nothing about this that bothers me. So great piece of equipment. There's care and cleaning instructions out there available for this stuff. I mean, because it's antimicrobial, there's really nothing you have to do. I mean, this still smells a little bit like a campfire, which I personally really like. I stored in a cedar chest, but again, these are, the old Army blankets. They were treated, and so when I spoke to Jason from Lester River Bushcraft, he told me that he's never had issues with moths and things like that. I have a cedar chest, so I keep it in there, and I will just say that if I were to rate this out of a 10, I would probably give this a solid 9, and that's just because the price is right. It's extremely well made. It's functional with all the pockets, the zippers, the D-rings for being able to hang things off of it. I couldn't be more thrilled with this boreal shirt. So go check it out. The website for Lester River Bushcraft is www.lrbushcraft.com. That's LR for Lester River. So www.lrbushcraft.com. I appreciate you watching. Go give me a follow on Instagram, Outdoor Gear Dad. Subscribe to the channel, and we got a lot more reviews coming. Thanks a lot.